So I want to talk about getting like body work and chiropractic done on your horses. And I know a lot of people out there firmly believe that those things are a luxury item or expense for your horses, that it's not a necessity. But for me, it is a necessity. It's just as necessary for my horses to have body work done and chiropractic done on them as it is for me to go and buy hay for them so they can eat, as it is for them to get routine dental done. Because a lot of you guys know that when it comes to riding and training my horses, I'm all about finding out the why. Why is my horse not doing this? Or why is my horse having hard times with this? Or why did this issue arise? And there's a lot of times that issues and problems arise in horses due to discomfort and pain. I just made a video talking about Reba not picking up the right lead, and I immediately went to why not the won't and fixing the won't and making her. I went to the why is she not picking up the right lead? And so instead of forcing her and working with her and forcing her to work through that discomfort and pain to pick up that right lead and hold it, I ignored it until my body worker could come out and work on her. Turns out her barrel was rotated and she was incapable of picking up that lead. And so the next time that I rode her, she picked it up with no issue. So if I had tried to force her to do something that was painful for her, I would have been training through pain, and it would have been a battle for both of us, and it would have been very unpleasant, more so for her, but it would have been unpleasant for both of us. So instead, I went to the why. Why is she having issues? And we figured out the why and we fixed the why, and now there is no won't. This is why when I take on client horses, before that horse ever even steps foot on my property, before I agree to take that horse on as a client horse, they're required to see a equine chiropractor. They're going to be current on dental by equine dentist, and they need to be seen by a veterinarian to be cleared for any and all pain before coming to me for training. And I can't tell you how many times I have actually lost a lot of clients. I would say about half of my clients I have lost that wanted to send horses to me because these issues and these problems that they were sending these horses to be fixed by me, a trainer, they found out it was due to an incapability due to pain in that horse. That horse was having a violent reaction due to pain, not because it has developed a bad behavior from the rider or whatever, but because that horse was developed a bad behavior because they had no other way to express to their owner that they were hurting doing it. An equine body worker can tell you stuff about you as a rider that you probably don't even know without ever even seeing you ride, just by touching and working with your horse. They can tell you whether you're a balanced rider. They can tell you whether or not your tack fits. They can tell you whether or not how you're working your horse is actually balanced and conditioning the horse properly. They can really let some skeletons out of the closet and tell you what you do and don't need to fix by working on your horse. If you're an unbalanced rider, your body worker will be able to tell you whether or not you're a balanced rider, because your horse, when you're unbalanced, they're going to have to overcompensate somewhere due to your lack of balance to make up for it. If your saddle doesn't fit and you thought it fit, guess what? They're going to be able to tell you that by working on your horse's body. If you're working your horses a certain way and you're convinced that you are conditioning your horses properly and balanced, they're going to be able to tell you you're not working your horses. This side's more developed than the other. And they're going to be able to tell you that your horse is overcompensating on one side due to something or the other. It's pretty amazing the things that a body worker can tell you about your riding without ever even actually seeing you ride. In fact, the biggest compliment I have ever gotten about my riding and my training with my horses is from my body worker telling me that my horses were some of the most balanced horses that she has ever worked on, that they were conditioned properly and balanced on both sides of their body, and that there was no overcompensation anywhere in their body due to a lack of balance with me or my training regimen. You can learn a lot of things about yourself and resolve a lot of issues that maybe you didn't even know about if you just listen to your body workers and pay attention to what they're working on consistently with your horses, because a lot of them aren't going to tell you your riding is unbalanced, so your horse is unbalanced. A lot of them aren't going to tell you that your saddle doesn't fit properly. A lot of them aren't going to tell you that the way you're conditioning your horse isn't proper and it's causing them to be unbalanced and be out. They're not going to tell you those things. They're going to come and work on your horse and be, want to come back. So they're going to be nice and they're going to do their job and they're going to leave. So, for example, my body worker was telling me a story about how her instructor was going out and working on this horse consistently. And it was the same thing wrong with the horse every single time. This guy had noticed just this woman that she was unbalanced in and of herself, just walking around like this. One shoulder was up higher than the other. And so he had worked on that horse a handful of times. And then he finally recommended to her, said, why don't you go and get some body work done on yourself and then ride, and we'll see how, and then call me later on and we'll come out and work on your horse and see if the problem is resolved. Well, that lady went and got some body work done on herself, and because she was unbalanced, her horse was unbalanced, and it was causing the horse pain. Once she got body work done on herself and got her own body balanced, there was no more issues with her horse being unbalanced. So if you have a body worker coming out already and they're consistently working on the same areas and they're fairly chronic areas over and over and over again, that is a tall tale sign that there is something wrong with you and your balance, your tack fit, or the way that you're training and riding that horse. That horse is telling your body worker when they're working on those same areas, they're overcompensating somewhere for your lack of balance, tack fit, or proper training and conditioning. So listen to your body workers. Get a body worker out to work on your horse. Like I said, it's something that it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you're wanting to improve, it is a necessity to have something like that done with your horses, because they are going to tell you the why, and you won't have to work and battle through as many won'ts. You won't have to battle through she won't pick up the right lead and cause issues in a fight. But if you fix the why, and your body workers getting body work done on your horse will tell you the why, then you can work through the why and you won't have to battle through the won'ts.